All right, y'all. Welcome back to another fun-filled show. I'm your host. He is Blanchard, aka Free Blanche, aka Blanstradamus, aka Blanchy Kruger. Today I'm wearing a shirt. I'm gonna be plugging it throughout the show, but these shirts can be purchased at godoclock.shop, and I'm gonna show you. Hold on, let me get this off here real quick. But basically, this shirt is in response to Demon Time. I want to show you all the back of the shirt, but I can't. I didn't think I should have brought the other shirt in here, but basically this is in response to, folks saying we on Demon Time. Black folks love to honor Satan in their slang and vocabulary. So this is in response to Black people saying Demon Time, calling themselves demons and everything demonic. But this t-shirt brand is God O'Clock by some friends of mine. You can see it better on Instagram. But again, this is the shirt, God O'Clock. They have the barcodes on the sleeves, so somebody can. My bad, it's reverse. Barcodes on the sleeve, so if you wear them out, somebody can just scan them. On the back, it has it's crossing out like Demon Time and stuff on the back. No Demon Time. Anyway, hope you all support. And I thank y'all for supporting in advance, and I thank y'all for tuning in today. The site is godoclock.shop, godoclock.shop, and then there's a promo code, and that is godoclock15 is the promo code. I mean, I'll be showing this again at the end of the show. But thank y'all for tuning in today. Glad to see you all. Today's title is They Destroy Everything They Touch. They destroy everything they touch. And the they is Black people. I was thinking this weekend, and I was thinking how everything that Black people touch, they destroy. There is nothing that Black people get their hands on they don't destroy. And the notions that Black folks make it better, this is all a lie. You can't name a single thing that Black folks get a hold to and it keeps its value. Nothing. Whatever Black people put their hands on, they destroy. It's like the opposite of the Midas touch. Remember that song? I got the Midas touch. Everything I touch turn to gold. Remember that song? I got the Midas touch. Baby, let me touch your body and your soul. Black folks have the opposite of that song. Black people have the death touch. Everything they touch dies. And if you think about it, think about something that whatever it touches, it kills. That's like it could be a bacteria. It could be a disease. It could be acid. Like it could be so many things that are bad, not necessarily bad, but so many things that destroy. And that's what Black people do. They destroy. And folks that say it's not true, Blanche, you want to be white, just but you can't prove me wrong though. Just tell me somebody, what have Black folks put their hands on and it still looks good today? Show me. What have Black folks put their hands on and it has stood the test of time? What's up, a goddess Navi? What's going on? What's up, Miss Graves? What's up, Soy for Night? What's up, Tierra? What's up, The Winning Walk with Christina? What's up, Rashawn? Did I say Tierra? What's up, Paul? What's up, JV Chanel? What's up, Miss Graves? What's up, Official Stalker family? What's up, everybody? Everybody on YouTube, what's up? What's up, Quay? But anyway, like I was saying, everything that Black people touch, they destroy. But again, it's not because black people are just black people. It's because of what black people idolize, what black people worship, what black people believe in. All of these things combined creates this thing called black culture, which really acts as the religion for blackness, is black culture. A lot of you all, and especially you liberals, a lot of you liberals are going to go to hell because you follow black people. Let me say this again. I used to always say this. If black people support you, you are in sin. I'm going to say it again. If black people support you, you are in sin. You are doing wrong. If you are righteous, black folks won't support you. If black people support you, I guarantee you are following Satan. If you don't believe me, let me ask you all a question. Just name somebody that black folks follow that's righteous. Carl Olive said destroying Carnival Cruises. Carnival Cruise had to issue a statement giving you a list of rules so you all don't destroy their business. Now, you can't blame white people for Carnival Cruise. You can't blame racism. You can't blame systemic oppression. Y'all are way out in the middle of the ocean somewhere. Ain't no racism. Ain't no oppression. Y'all on a cruise ship, living your best life, eating to your heart contents and drinking, being decadent. You out there in the middle of the ocean, so you can't blame Trump. You can't blame white folks. You can't blame racism. You can't blame oppression. It's just you out there in the ocean now. I would think if y'all was out there in the ocean, you would summon up the ancestors and y'all will behave. But it seems y'all act worse out in the middle of the ocean with the ancestors. I hope I have that video. I hope I have that video. I hope I do. I do. I do.
Carnival came out and said, so you think the fan ban wasn't enough? Watch this. Let's run through the list in order. The teen curfew is a big one. Everyone under 18 has to be back in their rooms after 1 a.m. unless you're with your guardian or adult that's 21 plus. However, if you're 18 to 20, you can no longer travel alone anyway. You must be with someone 25 plus. So anyone under 21 now must have a 25 plus person with him as well. Now this pool chair rule needs a whole nother look. Let's bring up the screen. If during the day you feel like you want to reserve a chair, you can, but they're going to put a sticker on it that says they stopped by, they haven't seen anyone here, and they're going to put a time on it. And if you don't get to it or check in, they're going to pull your stuff off those chairs. No more reserving sun loungers all day long on Carnival. There's two parts to this one. Let's talk about it. The first one, they're saying no more hip hop on a lot of cruises. Maybe they're trialing it, maybe they're testing it, it's just rumor, but no more hip hop. And the last part's the wobble dance. They're saying no more wobble dance because it's causing too many problems. Carnival came at you.
Now, of course, black folks are going to say racism. And this is why everything that black people touch, they destroy because they're following Satan. At the end of the day, I'm going to ask you all again, what do black people get their hands on and it either stays the same or it gets better? Just tell me. Just tell me. Somebody said it started, Tierra said it started with the Peter pandemic, and they was giving $99 cruises if you showed them that you got your shots. If you got your shots, $99 cruise. Come on, y'all. And black folks lined up. Think about this. Carnival Cruise been around for how long? Now, I was told that y'all was afraid of ships because they reminded you of slavery. The funny thing about y'all got the audacity to cut up on a ship in the middle of the ocean and you can't swim. Black people have the audacity to cut up on a ship in the middle of the ocean and they can't swim. Everything that black people touch, they destroy. Everything. They'll lie to you and tell you that white folks, it ain't white folks doing that. White people are building. You go to any white neighborhood and it's functioning. Even if you go to the trailer parks and across the tracks, in the trailer parks and the low-income white areas, they still ain't spinning the block. Little kids ain't getting shot. The violence still ain't there. So even when white folks are at their lowest, they still don't do what black folks do. Even when white people were at their lowest. I remember being a child back in the day, and they used to have commercials come on late at night where you could, the same way you can go feed a child in Africa, they had the same commercials for these poor white kids in America. Think about this now. They told you all that there was white privilege. And I remember being a child seeing poor white kids on commercials, and they were saying for this much money, you can feed this poor white child. The same thing they were saying about Africa, they were saying about here in America to those white people. I never saw a commercial for black folks in America for being hungry. Never. I never saw it. Let's play it again.
Carnival came out and said, so you think the fan ban wasn't enough? Watch this. Let's run through the list in order. The teen curfew is a big one. Everyone under 18 has to be back in their rooms after 1 a.m. unless you're with your guardian or an adult that's 21 plus. However, if you're 18 to 20, you can no longer travel alone anyway. You must be with someone 25 plus. So anyone under 21 now must have a 25 plus person with him as well. Now this pool chair rule needs a whole nother look. Let's bring up the screen. If during the day you feel like you want to reserve a chair, you can, but they're going to put a sticker on it that says they stopped by, they haven't seen anyone here, and they're going to put a time on it. And if you don't get to it or check in, they're going to pull your stuff off those chairs. No more reserving sun loungers all day long on Carnival.
Now, black folks was going on a Carnival cruise and just taking up lounge chairs, going off and having fun, and then coming back to a lounge chair. Think about you on a Carnival cruise and you can't use a lounge chair because black folks is setting all their stuff, and you know it's black people stuff in the lounge chair because you're seeing chicken bones, hot wing bones, flats and bones in the seat. You're seeing weave. You're seeing all kind of shea butter, all kind of products. You know how y'all do. You know how y'all do. Nike flip flops. You come on. We know. We know. Black folks reserving seats all day. Disregard for everybody on the cruise. And if a white person says something, they called racist. Do you all understand what's taking place? If you can't be held accountable, black people, you're going to hell. You're not going to heaven. If you can't hold yourself accountable, dear black people, you are going to go be with Satan forever. I gotta be blunt. No pun intended. I got to be swish and sweet. I got to be black and mild. I got to be a backwood. I got to be blunt.
There's two parts to this one. Let's talk about it. The first one, they're saying no more hip hop on a lot of cruises. Maybe they're trialing it. Maybe they're testing it. It's just rumor, but no more hip hop. And the last part's the wobble dance. They're saying no more wobble dance because it's causing too many problems. Carnival.
No more hip hop. Listen to it. Listen.
Along on Carnival. There's two parts to this one. Let's talk about it. The first one, they're saying no more hip hop on a lot of cruises. Maybe they're trialing it. Maybe they're testing it. It's just rumor, but no more hip hop. And the last part's the wobble dance. They're saying
no. These people are saying we're not playing any more hip hop. So in other words, black people don't come on the ship because we're going to make this ship orderly so folks can get what they paid for. So dear black people, we will no longer cater to you. We will no longer be ghetto. No more reserving seats, no more hip hop, no more wobbly, no more dancing, no more wobbly dances. Because y'all causing problem. Get in there. No more dancing. No more. If you're 18, you got to be in the room by 1 a.m. If you're out of the room, you got to be accompanied by somebody that's 21 or over. and you can't even book a cruise unless you're 25 or older. So, dear Black people, they're telling you all they're not going to tolerate your dysfunctional and destructive behavior. Period.
No more wobble dance because it's causing too many problems. Carnival came at you.
Now, Black folks are going to call racism, and every time y'all say it, I'm saying y'all going to be with Satan forever. That's my response. You're going to hell. You are going to hell. Let's continue. I wanted to go to something first. What was this one?
New tonight, some neighbors are dealing with a crisis in their apartment community near Grandview Heights. They called 6 on Your Side for help because they say crime is taking over and hundreds of strangers are too. Aaron Simonek joining us live from Runaway Bay Apartments. Aaron, what you are about to show us is shocking, to say the least.
Oh, absolutely, Jessica. Just imagine hundreds of people taking over this apartment complex who don't live here and don't pay rent, partying at the pool, the beach, and even the parking lot. Neighbors who do pay rent say they're concerned for their safety after even hearing gunshots earlier this month. At first glance, the Runaway Bay Apartments seem like a dream, a picturesque landscape nestled on one of these Scioto quarries.
The gate is not locked. It is a free-for-all for whoever wants to come in and out of this place.
But some people who call it home say it's become a living nightmare.
I've had my kayak stolen, my paddleboard stolen, I've had my car broken into, but yet we can't talk to the trespassers.
Carrie Cassidy has been renting here for a long time and says crime
Can you imagine this? They done issued a statement to the residents. Don't talk to the people. Listen to me. I don't want to hear another word about white privilege. I don't want to hear another word about white privilege. Because I challenge anybody to prove that black privilege doesn't exist and that white privilege does exist. But ironically, if black privilege exists, then white privilege can't exist. So you're going to have a hard time proving that argument. Because black folks clearly have privilege, which cancels out white privilege, because black folks being privileged means that white people can't be. Just so you know, white privilege meant that black folks weren't privileged. So if black folks are privileged, then that means that white people aren't. This woman just said, I've had my kayak stolen, my paddle stolen, my car broken into, but I can't talk to the trespassers. So in other words, just get crimes committed upon you because you're white and they're black. Out of all the videos you all have, the interviews of back in the day, you've never heard a black person being interviewed saying white folks are doing crime to us, and we never. Anytime you hear black folks talking, they talk about white people matter-of-factly. They don't say that white folks are specifically doing this to me. They say that white folks in general are doing this. Some ambiguous claim, but they never get specific. You never hear them say a white person came to my house, knocked on my door, and punched me in the face. A white person walked across my grass. A white person broke in my car. It's never specific. It's always some broad generalization. White people do this. White people do that, but never specific. But when I hear white folks talking, white folks are specific. You heard what she said. They broke in my car. They stole my kayak. They stole my paddle. Specific.
Homes say it's become a living nightmare.
I've had my kayak stolen, my paddleboard stolen, I've had my car broken into, but yet we can't talk to the trespassers.
Carrie Cassidy has been renting here for a long time and says crime is only the start of the problems. There's a dangerous and disturbing trend happening involving pop-up events where hundreds of strangers take over the property, including the pool, the parking lot, and the Quarry beachfront. All of this.
And y'all are telling me America's racist, but black people can throw a pop-up party on private property with no consequence. Black people are throwing pop-up events on private property, getting no clearance from the city, no okay from the residents, and they're not getting in trouble. I don't want to hear nothing else about white privilege. I don't. If you bring up white privilege, I'm going to say you're going to hell. That's my response from now on. You're going to hell. Black people having pop-up events on private property, nobody going to jail. They ain't even calling the police. They aren't even calling the police on y'all because you're black.
Pop-up events where hundreds of strangers take over the property, including the pool, the parking lot, and the Quarry beachfront. All of this on private property where they don't live or pay rent. The front gate has been broken for months, with people pouring in day and night with no control.
I'm paying $1,400 in rent here. These people come in here and they act like they own the place. We get harassed, we get threatened with guns, with knives. We've had a shooting here just a week ago at our pool.
This surveillance video shows possible shots ringing out at the pool earlier this month.
Guns with knives, harassed. We get here and they act like they own the
day and night with no control.
So, again, an apartment complex with a broken gate, black people are having pop-up events. And I told you all before, today's title is They Destroy Everything They Touch, Part 1. You cannot prove me wrong. But now think about this. Now, you would think that if black people were having these events on private property, that they would be on their best behavior. You would think that black people having these pop-up events on private property, that they would be on their best behavior. They want to bake cookies and bring it to the residents. They want to invite the residents, make them a plate, take the residents a plate, like show some, like just show some kind of humility that you're thankful. Now, you know what black folks do? Black folks threaten the residents. They break in their car, they steal their items, and then they threaten them, and then they have shootouts. If black people support you, you are going to hell. I can't say it any clearer than that. If black people is your fan base, black people, you're not going to make it.
I'm paying $1,400 in rent here. These people come in here and they act like they own the place. We get harassed, we get threatened with guns, with knives. We've had a shooting here just a week ago at our pool.
This surveillance video shows possible shots ringing out at the pool earlier this month.
I was worried about my mom because she was right there. She lives right across from the pool. I was scared to death for her. I was calling her, making sure she was okay.
And you know what's sad? When black people hear white people complaining about them, they get upset. It doesn't even dawn on them to say, let's change the behavior. Black folks are going to be mad at her. I told you all this before. What black people are asking for is ungodly. Black people are not asking for equality. They're not asking for things to be fair. That's not what black folks are asking for. Black folks are asking for this, to be able to run everything without the responsibility. So in other words, black folks want to be in charge, but white folks do all the work. So black folks want to have the position of the mayor of the city, but not do any work. They want white folks to do the work. what black people are asking for is ungodly. These people are throwing pop-up parties and having shootouts on private property, and the police isn't getting called, but you're telling me that America's racist. I can't listen to y'all. I don't listen to you all because I know you're lying. Black people lie. And we got to say it. If you say it, then maybe, just maybe, they'll stop lying. Maybe, just maybe, they'll say, you know what? Maybe I should change my ways. Black people lie. And the Bible says that Satan is the father of lies. So now it makes sense why black people lie. Satan is the father of lies. That's why black people lie.
Wanting to stay off camera say there needs to be more security, accountability, and oversight.
Been threatened to have my butt kicked by men, by women. Had women who have literally had their children running around this parking lot unattended.
And take a look at this scene in the parking lot on Tuesday night. Hundreds of random people partying in the parking lot. Why is this allowed? Neighbors say the police, AG's office, and code enforcement claim it's all on the property owners to make things right.
This is you have a legal right to a peaceful environment to live in, and it's the management's responsibility to provide that.
And a handful of residents tonight frustrated over the management's lack of response. I went over to the property group's managers to ask for comment about what they plan to do in regards to this public safety concern. They turned me away with no comment tonight. Cassidy, one of many neighbors who are now looking for a new place to live. Live on your side, Aaron Simonek, Fox 28 News.
Now, the reason why the property isn't doing anything is because they don't want to be called racist. This is how much leverage black people have today. The property management doesn't want to call the police on black folks. They don't want to be called racist. I'm telling you all now, white people, you being called racist means you in right standing with God. Hear me out, dear white people. Dear white people, when black people call you racist, that means you're in right standing with God. If black people say you invited to the cookout, that means you're in right standing with Satan. So, dear white people, it's best for y'all to be racist, because if you can be racist, you get to go to heaven. But if you're friends with these Negroes, you're going to hell. Everybody invited to the cookout is going to hell. If you don't believe me, what type of people spend their time concerned with black people? Liberals. The most godless group on the planet. Dear white people, it's better you be racist and go to heaven than to be liked by these nigglets and go to hell. The reason why this property management is not calling the police, even after a shootout, even after reports of guns, that means they don't even care if their residents get shot. They just don't want to be called racist. Do you understand how much power black folks have? If anybody caters to black people, you are doing the will of Satan. You can't name any scenario where catering to black people is righteous. You can't name any scenario where catering to black people is righteous. Give me a scenario. Right, Lady Hustler. To be racist is to be holy. You think, hold up, y'all think God ain't racist? Who you think getting terrorized on this earth now? White folks or black people? Who do you think is getting God's judgment right now? White people or black people? If we go throughout the Bible, since y'all are all in the Bible, and the Bible filled with black peoples, God been terrorizing black folks since the beginning. Since the beginning. wiping y'all out. You mean to tell me this management has unwanted trespassers on their property with guns, having shootouts, stealing from residents, threatening residents, and they don't want to call the police? And you want to convince me that America's racist? And you want to convince me that no such thing as black privilege? Are you crazy? You have never heard this about white people ever in your life. A group of white folks going on private property, having shootouts, stealing stuff, threatening residents. You've never seen it. Only in movies, only in Hollywood, only in folklore, only in fantasy and fairy tale, never in real life. I don't want to hear nothing else about white privilege. Nothing. If you bring up white privilege, you're going to hell. I said it. I said it.
Ex-husband was illegal.
Not that one. My bad.
Reports that your son has been found in your basement. Sir? Mr. Bothell, are you
What?
Yeah, we are getting reports that your son has been found alive in your basement.
What?
Yes, that's what, if you could hand me that wire very quickly. Yeah, we're getting that right now from how could your son be alive in your basement?
Oh shit. I have no idea.
Sir, did you check your basement?
I checked my basement. My wife checked my basement. I've been down there several times.
Black people lie.
We are getting reports that your son has been found in your basement. Sir? Mr. Bothell, are you
What?
Yeah, we are getting reports that your son has been found alive in your basement.
What?
Yes, that's what, if you could hand me that wire very quickly. Yeah, we're getting that right now from how could your son be alive in your basement?
Oh shit. I have no idea.
Sir, did you check your basement?
I checked my basement. My wife checked my basement.
So this guy right here, he faked his son being kidnapped. You think he went to prison? You think he went to jail? That he even got a fine? Nothing happened. He literally had everybody looking for his son, and his son was in the house. This guy right here didn't even get in trouble. You know why? Because he's black. Because he's black. If black people support you, you are going to hell.
I will never understand why black women will never get advice from a white woman on how to keep her man, and they're the most smartest women on how to secure a man. Like, why do y'all be getting advice from other black women who cannot even keep a man?
Yeah, this wasn't it. This wasn't it. Maybe you should have deleted this. This is problematic. Why even say, respectfully, of course. No.
Now, what's funny is I'm gonna play it again. Play it again. Listen to what she said.
I will never understand why black women will never get advice from a white woman on how to keep her man, and they're the most smartest women on how to secure a man. Like, why do y'all be getting advice from other black women who cannot even keep a man?
Yeah, this wasn't it. This wasn't it. Maybe you should have deleted this. This is problematic. Why even say, respectfully, of course.
Now this dummy right here, you see it, he's dumb. But anyway, so black women get married the least out of all the women. Black women have the lowest marriage rate in America. They get married at 27% of black women are married, 27%. So my question is, why wouldn't black women listen to any other woman that's not black? Okay, let's set white women aside for a second. How about Asian women? How about Hispanic women? How about immigrants? Okay, forget white women. How about the other women then? Now he's laughing and skinning and grinning because and again, I told you all, if you try to get in the good graces of black people, you're going to be in sin. There is no way to righteously be in the good graces with black folks. Because the moment you bring up something righteous or set it out to change their behavior, they're going to hate you. At the end of the day, white women get married the most. Maybe not more than Asians or Indians. But for the most part, we're talking about between white and black, it's not even close. If we're comparing black women getting married and white women getting married, it's not even close. So my question is, dear black women, you all aren't getting married and it's getting worse. So my question is, who are you going to get advice from? This clown right here? Another black woman? Dear black women, you've been listening to black folks on how to get married for a long time and it's not working. So my question is, why wouldn't you ask white women? Why wouldn't you study white women? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because what they do, you're not willing to do. You're not willing to do what white women do. And I hear all kind of slander about white women do this and their relationship and all this nonsense. But at the end of the day, y'all want to be married. You want to be married. So if you want to be married, dear black women, what are you going to do? Ooh, but I forgot. Everything y'all touch, y'all destroy. That's why you can't get married. That's why you can't get married. Because you're going to destroy the marriage. You show me a black married couple, and I'm going to show you a black man that's been defeated. You show me a black married couple, and I'll show you a black man that's been defeated. I'd venture to say that 1% of black marriages are in order. 1%. 1% of black marriages are in order. 1%. All the rest of them, the man is a prisoner of war. And he is being tortured by the woman king. Crazy. Oh, you think it might be my thumbs, my hand gestures? Let me see. Let me see. Testing, 1, 2. Let me see. Testing. I don't know. Testing. Thumbs up. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing it. I don't know why it's doing it. But let's continue. Let's continue.
Channel 2 Action News has learned the victim is the uncle to Atlanta rapper Big Boy, who is a part of the group Outkast. Channel 2's investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln, live now in Northwest Atlanta. Ashley, you found out more about when the suspect turned himself in.
Yeah, George, he turned himself in on Tuesday, nearly 3 weeks after this horrible incident happened. According to Atlanta police, all of this stemmed from a road rage incident that happened here on Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard. After Atlanta rapper Big Boy's uncle was shot, he veered off the road, crashed into this home. His family says now they have nothing left to do but grieve. Jabrian and Janisha Crumbly are now behind bars for their alleged involvement in a road rage incident that turned deadly. The victim is 62-year-old Ramoyne Patton, the uncle of Atlanta rapper Big Boy of the famous group Outkast. Atlanta police say on June 16th, Patton was attempting to make a turn when he got into an argument with Janisha and Jabrian. Police say during that argument, Jabrian shot Patton. He was hit in the back, causing him to crash into this home on Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard.
The car just turned and crashed into the house.
Actually, a couple windows was right here.
Chris Walker, who's house sitting for the landlord, says he couldn't believe the damage when he was allowed back into the home 24 hours later.
What the heck happened to my place where I'm staying now? I never thought it would be this property.
A representative for Big Boy's family told us he isn't ready to talk. However, the rapper sent Channel 2 Action News a statement saying, "Everybody who knows Uncle Mooney, heart aches. A moment of rage has totally pierced the heart of my family forever." Janisha was arrested on June 20th for hindering police to locate Jabrian. He finally turned himself in on Tuesday.
Don't end nobody's life over a couple words, man. Just keep driving. See what I'm saying? Like, that's very petty.
I think everybody just needs to have more, compassion in their hearts for each other.
And Crumbly, the alleged shooter, is being charged with murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm during a commission of a felony. You can count on Channel 2 Action News.
Now, these people, now think about this now. They're going to tell you about white folks. But these two young people then killed Big Boy's uncle, Outkast. Shot and killed his uncle, not over an accident, over a disagreement on who was making a turn. So think about this for a second. They're telling you systemic racism, oppression, white privilege, white people bad, all this. But when black folks are left by themselves, in the most simplest situation, somebody ends up dead. Now, we just saw black folks taking over the apartment complex and shooting. Now we see black folks on the street like Bonnie and Clyde shooting. What I'm telling you is that today's title is "They Destroy Everything They Touch." And I know what I'm saying is hard for y'all to swallow because it just sounds so bad. Man, Blanche, he hates himself. He hates black people. No, it's not hate. I'm telling you all what nobody else is going to tell you all. You are doing the will of Satan. There are 42 million black people in America, and Satan has at least 41.5 million black people. Out of 42 million black people in America, Satan has 41.5 million. That's a whole nation of people totally bought out to Satan. Big Boy's uncle is dead over who turned first, who cut somebody off, shot this man in the back.
Incident. Channel 2 Action News has learned the victim is the uncle to Atlanta rapper Big Boy, who is a part of the group Outkast. Channel 2's investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln, live now in Northwest Atlanta. Ashley, you found out more about when the suspect turned himself in.
Yeah, George, he turned himself in on Tuesday, nearly 3 weeks after this horrible incident happened. According to Atlanta police, all of this stemmed from a road rage incident that happened here on Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard. After Atlanta rapper Big Boy's uncle was shot, he veered off the road, crashed into this home. His family says now they have nothing left to do but grieve. Jabrian and Janisha Crumbly are now behind bars for their alleged involvement.
Dear Black people, you all have been making up names since the 70s. Dear Black people, you all have been making up names since the 70s. What has been the end result of you all making these names up? Jabrian and Janisha were never going to make it because the name is cursed. Why is the name cursed? Because you made the name up because you were upset at white people. I said you made the name up being upset with white people. So the name, the spirit of the name is hate. All these made up Black names, the spirit of the names is in defiance to white people, but really it's in defiance to God. It's in defiance to God. Because really, what you're rebelling against is a standard, is tradition, is the Bible. You didn't want names like Elijah, Matthew. You didn't want those names. Joseph, you didn't want those names. You wanted names to go against the system. You wanted names to go against God. Because you know that name gonna set you apart. And so what were you thinking when you said, I'm gonna name my son Jabrian? I'm gonna name my daughter Janisha. You were thinking, I'm going to rebel against white, which really means I'm going to rebel against God. This is why these names are curses. This is why these names are curses. We already know when we look at a resume and we see Jabrian and Janisha, we already know. When you at the hot wing place and you hear Janisha, your order's ready, you already know. I mean, that boy Jabrian crazy. You already know. There is nothing positive associated with these made up Black names. They are curses on your children. It's demonic. It's spell casting because the spirit that you had when you named your child was evil and wicked. It wasn't righteous. There's no way you had a righteous spirit and you said, I'm going to name my son Jabrian. There's no way you prayed to God and said, you know what? I'm going to name my son Jabrian and Janisha. There's no way. There's no way you did that. So that means you picked a name not from inspired by the Holy Spirit. You picked a name because you hate white people. I'm going to name my child something that's so far from what's traditional, what is orderly, what is standard. I'm going to make my child stand out. And you see the end result. Your son is going to prison for the rest of his life. The girl might get off, but he's going to prison. She gonna testify against him, so she ain't getting locked up. He going to prison for life. He killed Big Boy's uncle for no reason. Let's continue. Let's continue. Everything that black people touch, they destroy.
At that time, you were saying we wasn't going to jail, but they were hanging us. They were killing us.
They weren't hanging us.
They were hanging.
Who were they hanging? They were hanging some black people.
But aren't you?
The KKK, not all white people were hanging black people.
Not all white people were hanging black people, but the whole thing is that white people were hanging black people, and you are black.
What do you?
So my question is, for anybody that's listening, why is it when we talk about history, we never talk about the bad stuff that black people did? Can someone sit down to me and tell me what bad did black people do? Tell me. If you tell me, because what you all are saying is that black folks did nothing wrong. And if that's the case, then what I'm seeing today can't be because of slavery. It doesn't go slavery, black folks perfect, and now black folks is acting demonic. It's not how that works. So can somebody sit down and articulate to me what were the bad things that black people were doing? I never hear that side of the story in history. What bad were black people doing? You tell me white folks did this, okay, white folks did this. Okay, what did y'all do though? What did you all do? Because what I'm seeing today means that y'all were some real life demons. If today is any indicator of what black folks were doing back then, y'all were straight up demons. And I got on my God O'Clock shirt. We ain't on demon time. This ain't my shirt. I'm sorry. This ain't my shirt. This is a friend of mine's company. We ain't on demon time. We on God time. What were black people doing back then? Tell me. I've never heard somebody say, you know what? White people did this, but black people also did this. There's no way for black folks to end up how they are today without doing something back then. You had to be doing something back then to end up here today. So what was y'all doing?
Back then, at that time, you were saying we wasn't going to jail, but they were hanging us. They were killing us.
They weren't hanging us.
They were hanging.
Who were they hanging? They were hanging some black people.
But aren't you?
The KKK, not all white people were hanging black people.
Not all white people were hanging black people, but the whole thing is that white people were hanging black people, and you are black.
What do you mean by blacks were unified?
Because back then it was three husbands to every five households.
Oh, I'm from Alabama.
You from Alabama? It's the same. It was 3 husbands to each 5 households. And I love everybody. When you say everybody, white people are included with the word
everybody.
Black people, you're dumb. This is what black people do. Now what percentage of the white population was a member of the KKK? What percentage? 0.00001%. What percentage of the white population was the KKK? What percentage? Now we already know that 3% of white people own slaves. So this whole notion that all white folks own slaves is a lie. 3% of white people own slaves. That means when y'all were picking cotton for those 2 months out of the year, white people were picking cotton too. When y'all was picking tobacco, white folks were too. Sugar cane, white folks were too. White folks were doing everything y'all was doing. You're not special, black folks, because y'all picked cotton. Everybody was picking cotton. It was an industry. So we have 97% of white people did not own slaves. So when we go to the KKK, how many white people were members of the KKK? Now keep in mind, it's a secret organization. That means it's going to have small numbers. The same way that the majority of black folks are not in Greek organizations. The same way the majority of black folks are not Masons and Eastern Stars. This man said, but white people were hanging black people, what were black people doing? How many people did black people hang? How many people did black people lynch? How many? Because today, black folks lead the nation in homicide. So that means there had to be something in the 70s, something in the 60s, something in the 50s, something in the 40s, something probably even in the 30s, something probably even in the 20s, something probably even during slavery. Imagine you nigglets saying that because a group of white folks did something, it's all white people. But when y'all do something, it's individual now.
When you say when we say
I didn't ask everybody.
Now you want me to single them out like you're singling us out, and you're one of us. That's exactly what you're doing.
What do you mean, one of us?
The so-called black man.
African American.
No, I'm not African American. I'm an American.
So you are so. Well, you are so-called black American.
Right.
Correct.
Not so-called. I am.
This man said 3 out of 5 households back then had a husband. I know that up until the 1960s, black people led the nation in marriage. So I don't know what the numbers are specifically, but the black people led the nation in marriage. So I don't know what he's talking about. Anytime you see a black man on TV talking or on stage somewhere or with a microphone in front of his face, he's gonna be complaining and blaming somebody, making excuses. Guarantee. Hold on one second. Let me put up Angel Wings. You all go follow The Green Journey, aka Angel Wings. And I think her page is Nature's Nectar 24/7. I don't know if it's a product. I don't know what it is, but please go follow Angel Wings. I know it's something positive. That's why I know it's something positive. Let's continue.
He refuses to get off, you're going to have to deboard everybody. He doesn't want to come off. He does not want to come off. We're going to have to deboard everybody.
First class?
You got to deboard the whole thing.
He's got to have money because he's in first class.
He's on that backup.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Can I get his signature?
Listen, unfortunately, if he refuses to get off, you're going to have to deboard everybody. He doesn't want to come off. He does not want to come off. We're going to have to deboard everybody.
First class?
You got to deboard the whole thing.
He's got to have money because he's in first class.
He's on that backup.
No, it's not. Yeah. Can I get his signature?
Listen, unfortunately, it's not our decision. You were passed out. They had to wake you up. I want to avoid any embarrassments or any issues. We're going to have to deplane everybody on this plane, and then you're still going to get off.
That's fine.
We're going to have to go through that process. Then we're going to ask you, okay?
That's fine.
All right, Macho. Thank you. Appreciate it. Make yourself comfortable. Once we deplane, then I'm going to ask you, and then we'll just walk off, okay?
There's nothing you can ever say to me looking at me to get off a plane for you. I would never, ever in my life get off the plane for you. That shit don't mean nothing to me. You gonna wait 40 minutes and I'm gonna be on a private plane home. Get your fat ass. Get your ass off the plane. Enjoy the cheese board on the way home. Shit don't mean nothing to me, bro. And then a white man go look at me talking about, just get off the plane.
Now, I want you to think about the entitlement. Here's what I mean by if you are trying to appease black people, you're going to hell. You're not going to make it. There's no way to do God's will and appease black people. It's not going to work. You cannot do both. I'm telling you now, you can't do both. Making black people happy means you making Satan happy. Is it period? That's what it is. Now, Odell Beckham was on this plane and he was passed out. Now, for safety reasons, because he's passed out, they can't take off. They have to make sure that he's okay, so he has to be attended to. This is common sense. You were passed out. We had to get you up. We don't know what's wrong with you. We got to get you off the plane to get you checked out. We don't want you dying on the plane and traumatizing everybody on the plane. We don't want you ruining everybody's life by watching a man die on a plane. So we're asking you to get up. Odell Beckham says, I'm not getting up because the white man over there told me to get up. So then the guy says, well, we're going to have to get everyone off the plane and then get you off the plane. He says, okay. Now, I don't know about you all, but that sounds like black privilege. And my thing is, what type of person would want to inconvenience the entire plane? Because you're mad at white people. This is why I'm telling y'all, all this racism talk and white folks bad talk, all of it's Satan. At this very moment, Odell Beckham should have got up and left, but he didn't because he was mad at the white guy. So he wanted to make the whole plane suffer because he was mad at the white man. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And his career is reflected in this moment. His career is reflected in this moment. This is why he's not really a true champion. He was never going to win a Super Bowl being a number one option. Never. He was talented, but not a winner, because being a winner takes character. Most guys that play professional sports are talented, extremely. But to be a winner, it takes something else. He doesn't possess that. He's a coward.
If he refuses to get off, you're going to have to deboard everybody. He doesn't want to come off. He does not want to come off? We're going to have to deboard everybody.
First class?
You got to deboard the whole thing.
He's got to have money. Because he's in first class.
He's Odell Beckham.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Can I get his signature?
Listen, unfortunately, it's not our decision. You were passed out. They had to wake you up. I want to avoid any embarrassments and any issues. We're going to have to deplane everybody on this plane, and then you're still going to get off.
That's fine.
We're going to have to go through that process. Then we're going to ask you, okay? All right, Macho. Thank you. Appreciate it. Make yourself comfortable. Once we deplane, then I'm going to ask you, and then we'll just walk off, okay?
There's nothing you can ever say to me looking at me to get off a plane for you. I would never, ever in my life get off the plane for you. That shit don't mean nothing to me. You gonna wait 40 minutes and I'm gonna be on a private plane home. Get your fat ass. Get your ass off the plane. Enjoy the cheese board on the way home. Shit don't mean nothing to me, bro. And then the white man go look at me talking about, just get off the plane.
He said the white man, now listen, he got Louis on, St. Laurent's on. Now, he's saying the white man told me to get off the plane. So I'm going to inconvenience everybody because the white man told me to do what's right. I keep telling you all, you ain't never had a white person tell y'all to do what's wrong. You ain't never had a white person randomly come up to you in public and say, go do something wrong. Go steal that car. Go hold everybody up on the plane. When white folks interact with black people, it's usually white people saying, do what's right, and black folks saying no. This white guy said, listen, why don't you just get off the plane? He says, no, I want to inconvenience everybody because I don't like you because you're white. Disgusting. I don't want to hear another word about white privilege. Now, Odell Beckham is on a plane, and somehow him being on a plane ends up with everybody getting off the plane. Everything that black people touch, they destroy. And if you got any other arguments for that statement, please give them to me. Please give them to me. Please point out to me when black folks get their hands on something and it ends up going well. Or even, I'll even settle with staying the same. I'll even settle with it staying the same. When white people leave the neighborhood goes down. They call it white flight. So when white people leave an area where they know you all are going to tear it up, you call them racist. When white people come back to the area and start redeveloping it, you call them racist. So think about this. If white people leave, they're racist. If they come back, they're racist. So in other words, you're saying that white people are condemned forever just for being white. This is why I keep telling you all, anybody talking to you all about racism, they're doing the will of Satan. They are doing the will of Satan. I know what I'm saying sounds bad. I know it sounds crazy. I know you're upset. I know you're like, he hates himself. He hates his people. I don't care what y'all say. Right is right and wrong is wrong.
I know that the government, whatever, can't stand us black people. He's doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Us black people going to survive. So I know that the government, whatever, can't stand us black people. He's doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Us black people going to survive. So
what I find funny about this, dear black people, if the government wanted to make you extinct, it would be easy. How hard do you think it is to kill a bunch of black people? Pookie and Ray Ray managed to kill you all every day. No military training, nothing. Pookie and Ray Ray managed to kill you all every single day with no military training, poor education, lazy. Like, everything is working against Pookie and Ray Ray, and they're able to spin the block on y'all consistently. So if Pookie and Ray Ray can take y'all out, if the black woman can take you out of her womb with abortion, you all eat terribly, diabetes, heart disease. I mean, like, think about it. Like, how hard is it for the government to take y'all out? There have been over 20 million black babies aborted since 1973. How hard is it for the government to make y'all extinct? It's not hard at all. It's not hard. It's not hard killing black people. They can poison some drumettes and flats tomorrow. Millions of black folks will be dead one day. They can poison some cigarettes tomorrow. Millions of black folks dead one day. Like, it's not hard killing y'all. Are y'all serious? Do you think it's difficult to kill black people? Honestly, it's not hard. It's easy. Y'all fall for the simplest of tricks. Kamala Harris told you all to abort your babies or make them trans, and she got 88% of the black vote. It's not difficult, people. It's not difficult. You all eat poorly. Your culture is death culture. Like, what? Like, you listen, think about it. Everything you all do is death. Whether it be abortion, homicide, lack of education, and I mean basic education, nothing fancy, just reading and writing and doing math. poor diet, poor health, don't exercise, like listen to demonic music, reject God. I mean, like people. Let's be honest. It's not hard killing black people. It's rather easy. You all fall for anything because you don't stand for nothing. You tell me that MLK was your hero. He stood for peace, but on every MLK Boulevard, somebody dying. Y'all tell me that MLK stood for peace, but every time I see his name on the street, somebody's getting killed. So, dear black people, it's not hard killing y'all. If the government wanted you all extinct, you'd be extinct. It's not difficult. If the government wanted you all extinct, you'd be extinct. The real statement is, if the government wasn't involved, you all would already be extinct. That's the true statement. If the government backed off of black people, they would go extinct. You kill each other. The only thing saving black folks today is the government. If the government says hands off black people, you all will kill yourselves within a year. Just imagine 42 million black people with no supervision. Think about it. 42 million black people with no supervision. Destroy each other. So the government isn't trying to kill black people. The government is preventing black folks from killing themselves. So you all better thank God for the government. Otherwise, you all be extinct. And you know it. Because anywhere it's just you all, anywhere it's just black people running it, it's death, destruction, and damnation via decadence. Yeah, I know it sounds bad. I know it sounds terrible. I know. It sounds horrible. But as Pastor Manning would say, but you can't prove me wrong.
If I'm walking down the street and I see a black man with a white woman,
I got to save that one. I got to save that one. I got to save that one.
Is a Caucasian woman who chose a sperm donor with a similar appearance. The baby she delivered was African American.
After years of fertility and IVF treatments, she gave birth to a healthy baby boy in December of 2023.
He was beautiful and perfect, but it was also very clear that something was wrong.
An at-home DNA test result that January confirmed what Christina suspected. The baby was not hers. On February 5th, Christina's lawyers reached out to the fertility clinic, Coastal Fertility Specialist, informing them of the mix-up.
And just let them know, what the results were and asked for answers.
In March, Coastal Fertility informs the other couple their embryo was transferred to Christina, that family taking legal action to obtain custody. In a family court hearing that May, Christina decides to give up the baby voluntarily.
It's like the happiest day of their life is like the worst day of mine. So like everyone's happy and joyous, and then there's me losing my entire life all at once.
Now this white woman had this black baby by accident and was willing to keep it. This white woman had this black baby and was willing to keep it. It was a mix-up, but she said it's not right to get his baby back because the baby isn't white. She kept the baby out of principle. The baby didn't ask to be born, so it's not right for me to get a baby up, put the baby in foster care or adoption when I gave birth to the baby. So I'm going to keep the baby. But then the black family comes and they say, we want the baby. We're going to fight for the baby. Get it from that white woman. And sadly enough, the child probably would have been raised better with the white woman. As sad as it sounds, it probably would have been better with the single white woman. No, it's not. It's not a mixed race baby. I'll play it again.
Christina is a Caucasian woman who chose a sperm donor with a similar appearance. The baby she delivered was African American.
After years of fertility and IVF treatments, she gave birth to a healthy baby boy in December of 2023.
He was beautiful and perfect, but it was also very clear that something was wrong.
An at-home DNA test result that January confirmed what Christina suspected. The baby was not hers. On February 5th, Christina's lawyers reached out to the fertility clinic, Coastal Fertility Specialists, informing them of the mix-up.
And just let them know, what the results were and asked for answers.
In March, Coastal Fertility informs the other couple their embryo was transferred to Christina, that family taking legal action to obtain custody. In a family court hearing that May, Christina decides to give up the baby voluntarily.
It's like the happiest day of their life is like the worst day of mine. So like everyone's happy and joyous, and then there's me losing my entire life all at once.
Now, y'all can say what y'all want to say. It's not going to end well for their black family. It's not. Because the reason they wanted that baby was not righteous. The reason they wanted that baby was not a righteous reason. I'm telling y'all now. They wanted that baby because she was white. I'm telling you. They wanted that baby because she was white. That mother has no attachment to that baby. That father has no attachment to that baby. All they know is that white lady got your embryo. I don't know if the white woman is even married. I don't know if she's married. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm telling y'all now, it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well.
He refuses to get off, you're going to have to be.
Let's continue.
60 years ago, the LGBT community said they just wanted equal rights. They don't.
I gotta wait on that one. I'm sorry, y'all.
Argument is if we give poor people housing and health.
Billionaire in America today, you done stepped on a bunch of people. Okay? You didn't do it the right way.
Yeah.
You didn't. Now, you can be philanthropic now. I'm a humanitarian. And it's funny how billionaires get billionaires humanitarian awards. Come on in here, Ocho. Yeah, he did a great job. He gave $1 million, but he just made $4 billion off of poor people in Asia or Africa.
You know that Craig Hodges has been a real disappointment. They brought him up out of the grave, and he's been a real disappointment because all he speaks is the racism nonsense, victim mindset, just everything. Now think about what he's saying right here. Listen to him.
if you're a billionaire in America today, you done stepped on a bunch of people. Okay? You didn't do it the right way.
Yeah.
You didn't. Now, you can be philanthropic now. I'm a humanitarian. And it's one of how billionaires get billionaires humanitarian awards. Come on in here, Ocho. Yeah, he did a great job. He gave $1 million, but he just made $4 billion off of poor people in Asia or Africa.
Now, what black people struggle with is context. Because much of the black existence is based on emotion. It's not based on facts or truth. It's based on emotion. So much of the black existence is based on feelings. Now, my question is, I want you to think about this world and think about everything that's ever been created. Whether you say it was from greed or wanting to help people, but just think about what entrepreneurs have created for the world. Think about your daily life and just think about what has driven most inventions, most advancements, most building. Think about it. Think about everything that we enjoy started with an idea. Either the idea was, I want to make a lot of money, or the idea was, I want to give a need to society. I want to fill a need. Society has a need, and I want to fill that void. So either your motivation was something bad or something good. But to say all is wrong. To say it's all bad is wrong. If you are successful at something in this life, or you can specialize in something, or you do something nobody else can do, you're going to get compensated. It's just the way of the world. If you invent something, if you can create a product, you can fill a need in the marketplace, you're going to be compensated. So imagine you starting from nothing and working your way up to the top, and then somebody get on a podcast and say you did it the wrong way. Now, Craig Hodges clearly doesn't know too much because he don't have any teeth in his mouth. And I know that if he's a former NBA player and he's snaggletooth, that's poor money management. Now, if you ask me, he's missing teeth because he's doing drugs. If you ask me, I'd have been around many a drug addict and dope fiend in my life. He fits the description. Now, he was in the league, having a decent career, but he wanted to make a statement. He wanted to sit down during the national anthem in America. Now, he'll tell you that all the billionaires are wrong, but he won't tell you that all the other governments are wrong too. The US government is wrong, so I ain't standing for the flag. But if he went to China, he gonna stand for the flag. If he went to any other country, he's going to stand for the flag. You know why? Because he don't want to get his head knocked off. What these folks don't understand, the communists understand this. They know. They're just speaking the rhetoric. What black folks don't understand is that anybody that can create a demand or satisfy a demand is going to be wealthy. And it's just that simple. It's basic economics. If you can create a demand or satisfy demand, you're going to be wealthy. It ain't rocket science. What the problem is, though, is that black people get told they can't start a business because of racism. Black folks get told by other black folks, you're not going to make it. Nobody's going to buy it. It ain't white folks telling black people this. Most black folks y'all see that make it, somebody white invested in them. Somebody white invested in them or took a gamble on them, whether it be a person or a bank, organization, whatever. But Craig Hodges wants you to believe that all billionaires got their money the wrong way. Listen to him.
If you're a billionaire in America today, you done stepped on a bunch of people. Okay? You didn't do it the right way.
Yeah.
You didn't. Now, you can be philanthropic now. I'm a humanitarian. And it's one of how billionaires get billionaires humanitarian awards. Come on in here, Ocho. Yeah, he did a great job. He gave $1 million, but he just made $4 billion off of poor people in Asia or Africa.
Do you all understand? Do you understand? In those countries, what they're paying those people is equivalent to where they live. Are people in America allowed to say we want to get paid more? We want to get paid what folks make over in Europe? You get paid according to the cost of living. That's not racism. You get paid according to the cost. So that means when you build your factory over there, look how many families are being taken care of. Look how many families are being taken care of in this so-called cheap labor in Asia. These folks can go somewhere and work in a factory and get paid more than they do selling food on the street. Y'all tell me in their country where they're going to make more than they do in that factory. Tell me, show me. Okay. You're talking about these billionaires as all negative, but what's the positive? How many jobs are they creating? How many economies are being stimulated? How many taxes are they paying? How many internships? Again, Craig Hodges appears to be on dope, a crackhead, a dope fiend, a smoker, a junkie. You cannot listen to black people. Now, everybody heard Craig Hodges say this, and nobody corrected him. What this man said was gold. This is why it's dangerous for black people to be able to speak and not be checked, because folks believe what they say. I'm telling you now, if you come up with a product or you can fill a need, you're going to be wealthy. Even the Bible says that God gives us the power to get wealth. The Bible says that a diligent hand maketh rich. God gives us the power to get wealth so that he can establish his covenant with us. So how do you know that somebody's not wealthy? Because they're blessed. How do you know that someone isn't wealthy? Because they are blessed. Maybe they're doing things you didn't do, Mr. Hodges, like not smoke crack. And I know it's crack because then the side teeth is missing. Them side teeth is missing. You be smoking on the side. It's disgusting. I'm disgusted.
No, bro.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. I'm gonna do it, bro. Oh, look what he did this man. Let me get him. Let me get him. Let me get him, bro. Let this shit, bro.
No, bro.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. I'm gonna do it, bro. Oh, look what he did this man. Let me get him. Let me get him. Let me get him. Let me get him, bro. Let this shit, bro.
We're afraid of the police. The police is hunting us down, trying to kill us. They murdering black people. We're afraid of the police. Look at it. Look. Look. Show me pull up a video of a bunch of white people and some police trying to arrest them, and they do this. Pull it up. Pull up a video of the white people doing this equivalent. Show it to me. Since y'all say they can do it and you can't do it, show it to me. It should be viral. Thank you, D5280, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Rick Hamstead. Blanche, my brother, one love. God bless everyone. Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Rick. Cruise Missile, thank you so much. They're always supporting. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all showing me love. And Soin for Night, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the super sticker. Listen, I love y'all. I want y'all to thank Goddess Navi for moderating. Thank you so much. Thank you, Green Journey, Angel Wings, for moderating. Y'all get a chance, please follow Green Journey on her new page. She might put it back in there. Well, thank y'all for tuning in today. Listen, I love y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show today, and I will see you all again on Wednesday. Today's Monday, Thursday. Listen, I love y'all, and I will see you all again soon. Thank y'all so much. I hope y'all get some rest tonight, like I am. All right, y'all. Take care.